Hey, thanks for renting our little trailer. So just a quick walkthrough. Sam will also kind of walk you through these things, but just so you have it with you if you need it when you're out there. So real quick, this is a full set of keys. There's a ton of keys just because that's how all trailers are, unfortunately. One of the silver keys unlocks the pin that hooks you up to the trailer. So you just put that in there, take it out, and you could unhook now. Under this, we'll put the block that we'll keep inside over here in the storage, which we'll get back to. And to put it in, I like to take out the key first, drive it in, and once it's in there, it's already locked. Obviously, you'll connect to your 7-pin connection and the two chains. Make sure to twist them several times, so if there is an emergency where this falls, it'll catch you. Up here, you'll have your gas tank. Make sure this is off when you're driving. So right now it was off. I'm turning it on now. You'll have a meter here that tells you if it's full, empty, whatnot, but like I mentioned to you, it'll be full when you pick it up. Batteries, which you shouldn't have to mess with, are right here. They'll be charged when you pick it up. The solar connection will be right here. You essentially just plug that in. It's inside. It's a briefcase. It just opens up and you lay it wherever there's sun, and it should keep you charged for 3-4 days. For your short trip, you should be fine. In the storage here, you have a bunch of random tools, the wheel chokes, and there's a bucket there to catch the water from the sink drain, and I'll show you that in a bit where that's at. Here you have the power inverter. So these two outlets are the only ones that work when you turn that on, but make sure that this is off when you're driving. There is 2 USB outlets inside that work all the time to charge your phones or anything like that. And there is outlets around that only work when you're off a short power, which you might not be using, which is fine. Like I said, you have these 2 outlets. All these doors have a like a stop lock, so you make sure that one catches it first, and then you lock it with the key. Shower, pretty self-explanatory. You probably won't be using that, but if you do, there's a pump button inside the kitchen, which we'll get to. Here's your.
Maybe we should make sure to talk about turning off.
Oh yes. If you do happen to turn this on, just make sure it comes off when you close this back up. This did actually break on us over the trip, but you still have this hose that you could rinse bikes with down, or yourself, whatever you need it for. This is where I fill it up with water. It will have 17 gallons, which sounds like a lot, but in reality it's not that much. So just for like a short 2-3 day trip, it should be fine. This is the the water heater vents. You don't really need to mess with that. The kitchen. So here you have a gas stove. There's no autopilot, so there will be a lighter inside that you just light that up with. Inside, we're cleaning it right now, but this will be fully stocked with your basic kitchen utensils, paper towels, bags, trash bags. You'll have a full paper towel roll, and up here you will have your pots and pans and a couple of plates and mugs. the water here. So your light button is on this side, and it will turn on this light. When you're gonna use the water, you turn this pump on first, and you'll kind of hear it run, and the water will come out. When you're done using the water, just make sure to turn this pump off, to not put too much pressure on the pump, and to also save your power. If you do need hot water for some reasons, it will be this button. Make sure again that your gas is on, and that takes about 5 minutes to heat up water. Most people don't actually use it, but just in case you do, it's there. So this water drains out through the bottom. There's a white and blue hose. So once again, there's a white and blue hose where that's coming out. I typically put that orange bucket that's in the storage in there to catch that water, and I use that to turn off the fire, or you could dump it anywhere you would like. When we're in a desert, I honestly just let that run out, and it dries out pretty fast. Once again, when you're driving, just make sure that the light's off. We do have these additional lights that we just stuck on. These are battery operated, so these aren't running off of power, so no need to worry about running those for much long. So you'll kind of see here right away how this door closes. So this latch grabs onto the back of the door frame. These are just a bit finicky and don't catch the lock all the time. So when you close it, I make sure that it closes with this first. So you can pull this and make sure that it's not coming out. And then you can lock these door handles. Just push the door in, and you'll hear it click. But I do these first on both sides, and I'll keep this from coming out. You're all set. Grab a ladder here to get up to the spare tire. There's a tool inside the storage to get that loose if you do need it. With these big tires, no one's ever had a flat, and hopefully you won't either. Coming inside, this to get in, it's the purple key. And if you want to keep this open, there's a door catch on this side. Put that in there, and to get it out, you just lift it up and it comes out. Pretty straightforward. This door is the screen door. There's this little latch here that you push in and it comes out. But once you open it, it catches on this door. And when you're inside, you will pull this to the side and pull this handle to open it. And you also have to do the same with the screen door from the inside. And this red tab is the lock if you want to lock it from the inside. We have these stairs that not everyone takes with them, but they'll just go inside. If you feel like it's a bit tall, feel free to take them with you, and if not, just leave them here. So no need to have them with you or not. But inside, we have the light switches right here. This one is for inside, the first one, and the outside one is a bright yellow light that is up top. It's pretty light, so that it's not that bright, which is perfect when you're camping at night. You don't have to blind yourself. Up top you have the speaker. You would turn that on, press the Bluetooth button, and the pin to connect to the Bluetooth is just 4 zeros, so 0000. The speakers are okay. Any Bluetooth speaker that you're taking is probably louder, and it'll turn on the speakers inside and outside. Up top, this is very important. So you turn this on, you can check your voltage. Right now it's at a decent charge, 12.6. When it's full, for you, it'll be above 13, maybe 14. But once you get below 7, you might see some lights not be as bright. But with the solar panel, you should be fine for a couple nights. And inside here, you have your USB chargers that work full time. These are running off of the trailer batteries. Down here, you have your fire extinguisher. Hopefully, you don't have to use that. Solar panel here. Like I said, it's like a briefcase. You open this up, take it out, it unlocks. Just spread it out wide. I usually put it up against the trailer or the tire, and just plug it in. There's a cable that's already connected to it, so it's very straightforward. We do have new cushions that are a bit thicker, but don't fit quite as nicely. If you do want to turn this into a sofa, feel free to pull this one out, and you have a couch here. These will have a bed sheet cover when you pick it up, and it'll be pulled out as the bed. But just so you see how they look like if you want to turn it into a couch, just pull off the sheet, and it's 2 pieces actually, just so you know. And to pull the bed out, you grab this bottom piece with both hands and just pull that out all the way, and open these and lay them out flat. It's a snug fit, so one of them, it's easier when you put it on one side and then just push it out, push it down from the other side. Very straightforward, but the last cushions were super thin, and it was almost like sleeping on the floor. There's a window out.
So just to be clear, these fold out long ways. This is going to be moved, fold out long ways.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And be careful of not scraping the floor with that. Make sure you lift when you're pushing it back in.
Yes. So there's 2 legs that pull out with this bottom section, and just make sure you're grabbing it with both hands. Out here, you have it's an emergency window, but we all use it as a vent. So you push this tab in and down, it comes out. You have to push this out, and once you're about there, it stays there. It gives you a nice breeze, and we typically sleep with this out. To close it, you just pull it back in until you're almost closed. It's not gonna close fully until you pull it slightly hard so that it comes in, and you have to push that back in, and it'll latch back on. Out here, you have the heater, which you probably won't need, but in the event that you do, very straightforward. It's either off or on heat. You turn on, you put it on heat. Make sure that the gas tank is on, and set it to your temperature. So right now I set it to 75. It's 66 here. I know it'll get warm very quickly. I honestly keep it when we have camped in 30-40 degree weather. We put it at 55, and that makes it very warm in here. So just so you know where the air comes out, it'll be on this side. There's the vent down here. So we just make sure that there's no like duffel bags or gear on this side, so that the air could actually come out. And there is an O2 sensor for your safety if you're running the heater. And if that does go off, it's this little guy, and it's that button that you would just press and hold, and it'll turn this light from green to red. But if you're not running the heater, then you shouldn't have that issue. In case you do blow a fuse, down here you have the fuse box. Pretty easy. pushes this top portion in, and it comes out. And these fuses will light up when they're out, so there's no need to like guess which one is off. If you're running on shore power, you have these breakers, but they're really not doing anything if you're not running on shore power.
And there's extra fuses in here, right?
Correct. We have a bunch of extra fuses in here if you ever need them. In here you'll have flashlights. This is our headlamp, which won't come with it. And there will be 2 extra storage bins down here when you pick it up. The last thing here is up on the roof, or on the ceiling. This is the roof vent. So you just twist this, and this opens up quite a bit. So if it's hot where you're at, typically what we do is make sure that we open up the window in this before we go to bed, and they'll let a nice breeze in. And you have a fan here as well. It's just this little button. And honestly, it's just like a white noise when you're going to sleep. And we don't have an issue with it when we go to bed with this on. When you are driving, just make sure that this is also closed. If not, it will flap around and it could break. Other than that, inside, excuse me.
Bless you.
I think that's it. We could walk outside and close it up with a couple things. So yeah, just to reiterate, make sure that if you are going to unhitch and drive out to camp somewhere, to just put the wheel chokes on, and make sure that pin is locked. This one here, and don't be worried about that 7-pin connection. This doesn't actually have trailer brakes or AC, TV, microwave, anything like that, so it's not draining power from your batteries. There is other models of the same trailer that do have all of those features that do actually use the 7-pin power, but it's not really draining anything from your batteries, unless you're staying put for like 4 or 5 days. Then it drains some of it, but not enough to worry for your trip. So once again, hopefully that's helpful. I would say the very last thing, or that the curtains, you make sure to grab them with both hands if you're gonna close them and open them. Do you have any other last things?
I think you mentioned you were going to show them how to use the stoppers.
Oh yes. So very straightforward. There's 2. One of them is just a basic yellow one, and you have a chunky black beefier one. So I'm sure that you've done this somewhere else, but just set them on the side that's going to lean more. If it's pretty flat, I put one forward and one in the back on the other wheel, and that'll keep you pretty steady. And you'll kind of gauge wherever you park based off of this lever, how to set a level going this way. But if you're unlevel from wheel to wheel, typically what we've done is we just find a rock that's laying around and put it under one wheel, and that'll make it pretty level. But hopefully you find a good flat spot.
So what you're saying is that this needs to come all the way down and it needs to be decently level, and if not, you need to figure out a way to make it level.
Correct. But honestly, that's a very rare issue. Typically, if you're gonna be camping at a designated camp spot or tent spot, you should have fairly level ground. So that's it. Give me a call if you have any questions. I should be available by cell. There's a couple tools there in case something goes wrong. The only thing that we've had go wrong was this window that someone broke by accident with a piece from a car that came out that was in front of them and broke that. But other than that, should be pretty straightforward. So hope you enjoy it.